Steelers owner confirms Aaron Rodgers deal imminent in Pittsburgh as the Pittsburgh Steelers look to sign this franchise quarterback to a deal. My name is Peyton Kleppe, and on today's episode of Steelers Digest, we'll be breaking down the latest Pittsburgh Steelers reports and analysis regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers football team. As the Pittsburgh Steelers continue their search for their next quarterback, their owner has confirmed that Aaron Rodgers will be signing in the next couple weeks. Before we get into the latest reports regarding Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, if you guys are not already currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. Only 9% of our current viewers are actually currently subscribed to the channel. So if you click that subscribe button, we will get you guys the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news and analysis. Let's get right into it. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers have been in contact this whole offseason underground. Like I said before, Art Rudy did come out today and confirm that he still expects Aaron Rodgers to sign in Pittsburgh. He said just wait a little bit longer, but he still does expect Aaron Rodgers to be coming in and signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And obviously, Aaron Rodgers did make an appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast yesterday. This was kind of out of the blue, but he did confirm that he also has some family members and close friends that are dealing with cancer. So, you got to feel for this guy. This was something that is definitely big. Obviously something that, very personal. So you don't really want everybody knowing it. But, it is very tough. And you got to feel for Aaron Rodgers and his family. I hope they do recover. I hope they are healthy. I wish them well. But obviously this would be a reason why Aaron Rodgers did wait this long to sign a contract. Obviously, he probably wants to be with the person or support them in any way he can before he does want to make a commitment to a team. But also on Joe Rogan, he really did not talk about much football or any football-related stuff. Joe Rogan does not really cover much football. He's not really a big football guy, more of just an MMA, UFC guy. So they really did not talk any football. They were talking about like the pyramids and vaccines, the president, all that kind of stuff, all that kind of good stuff. So if you guys have not checked that out, I would recommend you do check it out on Joe Rogan's podcast, JRE Experience. But, anyways, Aaron Rodgers, all signs are pointing that he will sign in Pittsburgh within these next couple weeks, hopefully by the end of the month. I would expect him to sign in Pittsburgh. We have cleared up enough cap space for this guy. Whatever kind of contract we do want to sign him to, I do believe early in the offseason there were reports that we did offer him a one-year deal, which would be kind of expected for the Steelers. We're not a team that offer multi-year contracts left and right. We really don't have that much cap space or the money to be spending money willy-nilly here and there. So I do expect him to probably sign this guy to a shorter contract deal and hopefully draft the quarterback for the future in the next couple years. Or, we might as well see if Will Howard's the next quarterback. If he wants to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, learn what it's like to be a pro in the NFL, step in his shoes next year and play lights out football, hey, I'm not complaining. And we wouldn't have to draft a quarterback and trade up or go through any of that stuff. But, back to the Aaron Rodgers news, I do expect him to sign in Pittsburgh. Probably a one-year deal, probably around $10 to $20 million. He did say on the Pat McAfee podcast earlier on this offseason he'd play for 10 M's, a slight little 10 M's, which is, plenty of money for the rest of us. But for Aaron Rodgers, it's just a small amount of compensation for him to come in, sling the rock around, score some touchdowns, and maybe take some vitamins while he's doing it. But Aaron Rodgers, this guy is an all-pro, former 3-time, 4-time MVP. This dude has won a Super Bowl earlier in his career. He's probably one of the best passers in NFL history. He's got one of the best touchdown to interception ratio ever. I think he does. If you're looking at career stats, he's got like 300 or 400 passing touchdowns with only a little bit over 100 interceptions, which is crazy to think about. This guy's been playing for close to 20 years, if not 20 years. I don't know exactly, but that touchdown to interception ratio is insane. Not even Ben had that. He had 400 touchdowns, but he threw a lot of interceptions. So Aaron Rodgers is a guy that he's going to take care of the ball when throwing it. When he was in Green Bay, he really only averaged like 3 to 8 picks a year. He did not throw a lot of interceptions. He was a precise passer, a smart passer. and hopefully he'll bring that to Pittsburgh. Maybe throw the ball around in the middle of the field a little bit. That was something that obviously Big Ben did when he was in Pittsburgh, but since Big Ben has retired, the Pittsburgh Steelers have not found another quarterback that has been able to throw the ball across the middle, run that play action, run those slants, those post routes, and open up the field for guys like DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin across the middle, Pat Freiermuth across the middle, and whoever we're going to have at wide receiver number 2, whether that will be Chris Olave, Robert Woods, Ben Skronik, Scotty 2 Hottie. We don't know. I don't know. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are up to something, and I do trust that Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin have something up their sleeves. We still have a guy in Roman Wilson that has a ton of untapped potential. He did not play at all last year due to an injury to his hamstring, I believe, and just, falling behind, coming into the NFL. It's a big transition from the college game to the NFL. So he did have a tough time transitioning, but I do expect him to step into that receiver room and have a big year, especially if Aaron Rodgers does decide to come into Pittsburgh. This will be big for the Pittsburgh Steelers and their young wide receiver core. Like I said, we have a lot of young guys and a veteran guy like DK Metcalf, who obviously was seen catching passes from Aaron Rodgers earlier in this offseason. Those guys were out in UCLA, and of course, Aaron Rodgers is kind of teasing us. He did have a social media guy out there with him, taking videos of them throwing the ball, just getting to know each other, and hopefully getting to know the next Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback of the future. Although Aaron Rodgers did not have a great season last year in New York, his worst season last year was 28 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And if Mason Rudolph was doing that, we would not be having this conversation. We would obviously be rolling with Mason Rudolph. But Mason Rudolph has not proven really to anybody, let alone the Pittsburgh Steelers, that he is talented enough to do that. If he does, then hats off to Mason. But like I said, I don't expect him to be doing that. So whenever we do, in fact, get Aaron Rodgers, I do think it's going to be a major upgrade for the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback room and the offense, because, Aaron Rodgers, obviously he will be playing at a high level, but he's also going to be able to, offer his knowledge to guys like Will Howard and Mason Rudolph, and especially because this is the end of his career, and he knows it's the end of his career, so he's not going to have to worry about, hey, this guy's trying to beat me out or take my job, He's only got 1 or 2 years max left in the league, I assume, so, he's probably going to be way more open to offering guidance and, knowledge to these young quarterbacks in Mason Rudolph and Will Howard and whatever fourth guy we get in there, Skylar Thompson, or whichever guy we do decide to keep on our practice squad. But I do expect Aaron Rodgers to be signing in the next couple weeks. If he does, we will get a video out to you. If you guys are not currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. Here we go, Steelers. Peace out, boys.